Keith Urban, a man whose music has captured hearts across the world, whose voice can make you feel every note deep in your soul. But behind the lights, the fame, and the sold-out arenas, there's a story that few know. A story of love, truth, and personal revelation. At 57, Keith Urban has finally spoken openly about his marriage to Nicole Kidman, and the truth is more heartfelt and moving than anyone expected. Think about it. A marriage between two of the world's biggest stars, a life constantly under the public eye, pressures and expectations that would challenge even the strongest couple. For years, rumors swirled, questions lingered, and fans speculated. But now, Keith chooses honesty, vulnerability, and courage, offering the world a glimpse into the reality behind the glamour. Imagine this: Keith sitting quietly in a softly lit room, guitar in hand, the calm presence of a man who has lived both joy and heartbreak. He speaks gently, revealing the struggles, the growth, and the lessons that come from loving someone as fiercely as Nicole. The world sees award shows, red carpets, and smiling photographs, but rarely the quiet moments of truth, the sacrifices, and the moments that shaped their relationship. Keith Urban's story isn't just about fame or music. It's about the raw human experience of marriage, the challenges, the love, the misunderstandings, and the triumphs. It's about two people navigating life together under the scrutiny of millions, learning that honesty, trust, and communication are as important as any stage, any song, any spotlight. And today, at 57, Keith's admission reminds us that love isn't perfect, that marriage isn't always easy, and that even in the brightest spotlight, vulnerability is the bravest act of all. Welcome to the channel. If you want real stories that go beyond the headlines, that reveal the human side of the stars we think we know, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we dive into the intimate and emotional journey of Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman. Before the cameras, the awards, and the sold-out concerts, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman were just two people trying to navigate life, love, and careers that demanded everything from them. Their story began quietly, filled with hope and the kind of connection that makes you believe in love at first sight, even under the intense glare of fame. But as any couple knows, love is never simple, and theirs was no exception. From the beginning, Keith faced the challenge of balancing life on tour with the demands of marriage. The distance, the time apart, the constant public scrutiny. It wasn't easy. Nicole, too, carried the pressures of her Hollywood career, the expectations of fans, and the relentless spotlight. Together, they learned that love requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to communicate even when it's uncomfortable. For years, the world only saw their smiles, the glamorous photos, the red carpet moments that looked perfect. What they didn't see were the quiet struggles, the long phone calls in the middle of the night, the moments of doubt, the fights no one would ever hear about. Keith admits that those moments tested him, tested their bond, and forced him to grow not just as a husband, but as a person. And yet, despite the challenges, their marriage endured. Keith's honesty today reveals the depth of their connection, the sacrifices made, and the ways in which love can thrive even under immense pressure. It's a story of perseverance, of learning to put another person first, and of finding strength not in perfection, but in commitment. Keith Urban's journey reminds us that marriage is messy, beautiful, and deeply human, and that the bravest thing anyone can do is speak the truth about it. Today, at 57, he chooses to share that truth, offering a glimpse into a life of love, struggle, and ultimate growth with Nicole Kidman. At 57, Keith Urban isn't just a global music icon, he's a husband, a father, and a man who has learned that the greatest victories aren't measured on stage, but in the quiet moments at home with the people he loves most. His marriage to Nicole Kidman has faced trials, yes, but it has also been filled with triumphs, laughter, and the kind of love that grows stronger with each challenge. Keith reflects on the joy of raising children together, the small, everyday moments that the public never sees, family dinners, bedtime stories, and the simple comfort of being present for each other. These are the victories that matter most, the moments that build a foundation far stronger than fame or fortune could ever provide. He admits that honesty has been the cornerstone of their relationship. By sharing his true feelings, confronting fears, and admitting mistakes, Keith and Nicole have built a bond that isn't perfect, but it is real, resilient, and deeply inspiring. Their marriage is a testament to the power of communication, patience, and unwavering commitment. And through it all, Keith reminds us that love isn't about perfection. It's about choosing each other every day, about growing together through struggles, and about celebrating victories, no matter how small. At 57, his truth is clear. Marriage takes courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to stand together, even when the world is watching. If this story inspires you, honor Keith's journey by subscribing to the channel and staying connected. Because stories like his remind us that real love isn't always glamorous, but it is always powerful. Looking back on his life and marriage at 57, Keith Urban offers more than just confessions. He offers lessons. Lessons about love, resilience, and the courage to be vulnerable in a world that constantly demands perfection. His story with Nicole Kidman reminds us that even in the spotlight, marriage is a human journey full of challenges, growth, and quiet victories. Keith emphasizes that the true strength of a relationship isn't measured by public appearances, glamorous photos, or accolades. It's measured in honesty, patience, and the willingness to face struggles together, hand in hand. Every challenge they overcame, every misunderstanding they worked through, and every private triumph they celebrated strengthened their bond in ways the world may never fully see. Their marriage teaches us that love requires work, commitment, and the bravery to reveal your authentic self to someone you trust. It's about growing together, learning from mistakes, and cherishing the small moments that create a lasting connection. At 57, Keith Urban's revelation is clear. Love is not always perfect, but it can be enduring, beautiful, and deeply transformative when approached with honesty and heart. If this story resonates with you, honor Keith's journey by hitting that subscribe button and staying connected. Because understanding the real story behind love, marriage, and commitment is a lesson worth sharing. And now, as we reflect on Keith Urban's journey at 57, we see a man who has chosen honesty over appearances, truth over perfection, and love over pride. His marriage to Nicole Kidman has faced scrutiny, distance, and challenges that could have shattered anyone else. Yet they have endured. Not because life was easy, but because they committed to grow together, support each other, and navigate every struggle with courage and heart. Keith's admission reminds us that love is rarely flawless. It is messy, complicated, and at times painfully human. But within that complexity lies beauty. The beauty of two people learning to understand, forgive, and uplift each other day after day. Their journey is proof that vulnerability is not weakness, but the strongest expression of love. Through every trial, every private heartbreak, and every quiet triumph, Keith and Nicole have shown that a lasting marriage is built not on perfection, but on resilience, honesty, and the willingness to face life together. At 57, Keith Urban's story is an inspiration, a reminder that love takes courage, that relationships require commitment, and that speaking the truth about our hearts is one of the bravest acts we can ever perform. If this story touched you, inspired you, or reminded you of the power of honesty and love, honor Keith's journey by subscribing to the channel and staying connected. Share this story, reflect on its lessons, and let it inspire the way you approach your own relationships. Because Keith Urban's story proves that even in the public eye, amidst fame and scrutiny, true love, honesty, and resilience shine the brightest. Thank you for watching, and never forget that real love is always worth the courage it takes to embrace it fully. As we close this story, Keith Urban's journey at 57 reminds us that love, truth, and resilience are not just concepts. They are choices we make every day. Choosing honesty in a world that thrives on appearances, choosing vulnerability in a world that prizes strength, and choosing love even when it is difficult are the things that define not just a marriage, but a life worth living. Keith and Nicole's story shows us that the real victories in life aren't awards, chart-topping hits, or applause. They're the quiet moments of understanding, the private triumphs over fear, and the courage to remain committed when challenges arise. Their journey is a testament to the power of persistence, compassion, and unwavering dedication to one another. And perhaps the greatest lesson Keith shares is this: love is not about perfection. It's about growth, connection, and choosing each other every day. It's about showing up even when it's hard, communicating even when it's uncomfortable, and staying present even when life pulls you in 1,000 directions. His story encourages us all to honor our own relationships, to value honesty, and to embrace the challenges that come with genuine love.